President Trump refusing to concede.
Inside the White House, President Trump still fumes.
Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't
railing
talk to me
against the 2020 result, calling out traitors and commending his patriots. As the media continue to critique his failure to concede.
Will he ever concede?
Even Fox News.
Arizona, are you 100% sure of that call?
The first on election night to call Arizona for Biden, which sent Trump into a fury. Since then, a steady stream of tweets denigrating Fox. Fox News daytime ratings have completely collapsed. They forgot the golden goose, urging his followers to change the channel. Fox News daytime virtually unwatchable. Watch OAN and Newsmax or almost anything else, and retweeting actor Randy Quaid's bizarre video.
Fox News daytime ratings have completely collapsed.
Good evening. Welcome to Washington.
Fox, the #1 cable channel, has certainly not collapsed. But in Trump land, hardcore loyalists are disgruntled.
Even Fox News is crooked.
After the election, supporters surged into Washington. Tens of thousands, their loyalty firm, some eager to switch to media that parrots Trump's claims. The vote was stolen and he won.
We are seeing a shift that is coming from a kind of revolt against the conservative media establishment. And we see that mostly with something like Fox News.
Nicole Hemmer, a political historian, has written extensively about conservative media and the far right.
And that is really empowering these other right-wing outlets, Newsmax, One American News on television, but even conservative talk radio as well, to kind of go after Fox and try to claim to be a better authority, a better version of conservative media than Fox News is.
And when you say better, in their eyes, what's better?
It's more pro-Trump.
Graham Ledger. Don't believe this garbage in the mainstream media.
OAN, One America News, is a digital channel on the conservative fringe. Newsmax, a small cable player. Trump's promotion is pumping up Newsmax numbers. Programs like Greg Kelly's show, which reached over 1 million the week after the election.
The mainstream media relentlessly convincing us, trying to at least, that this thing is over. How many times have they tried to convince us that Donald Trump was finished?
Also on Newsmax, Spicer and Company, co-hosted by the former White House press secretary, Sean Spicer.
We saw an absolutely astronomical rise starting the week before the election.
You remember Spicer, who in his first briefing chastised the press for misreporting the size of Trump's inaugural crowd.
These attempts to lessen the enthusiasm of the inauguration are shameful and wrong.
After 6 months, he was out, wrote a couple of books, and did a spin on Dancing with the Stars. He started his talk show on Newsmax in March.
I wonder, Lindsay, if we knew what we know today in terms of vaccines, the stock market, and so much more, how much different the election would be?
Look, Susan, I'm not a journalist. I don't pretend to be one, and I've said that over and over again. The idea is to inform viewers, plain and simple. But I'm very clear about where I stand personally. I work for the president. I work for the Republican National Committee. I'm a proud conservative. But we have Democrats on the show all the time.
Did President Trump lose this election?
My thought is he's got a case. Whether or not it's strong or not, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I haven't seen the evidence.
What I'm trying to get at, Sean, is whether you believe that Joe Biden is the president-elect at this juncture.
If the president overturns these electoral votes in this thing because of some impropriety, because of a constitutional question, what have you, then he will have won. Does that likely? I think it's an uphill battle. There's no question about it. But does he have a legal right to pursue these challenges? Yes.
Newsmax's CEO Chris Ruddy is close to Trump, who called him 2 weeks ago to congratulate. Just incredible the ratings you're getting. Newsmax still not acknowledging Trump lost. What's happening inside Newsmax? Is this going to be a vehicle for Donald Trump when he leaves the White House?
Chris has been building up Newsmax for quite some time, and I think he as he's mentioned in the past, he'd love having the president come on as a guest in some way, shape, or form, but he's not looking for a partnership.
Behind barricades and construction for Biden's inauguration, Trump continues to peddle he is not the loser. And there's a ready audience. Conservative media is growing and splintering.
These are pretty fringe networks in a lot of ways. They don't have a strong reporting wing. They're primarily producing propaganda. And having more and more Americans consuming more and more propaganda is a real problem for our political system. I mean, we're going to see this in the aftermath of the 2020 election. The millions of Americans who won't see Joe Biden's presidency as legitimate.
I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
But Trump's time as president is almost up. Determined to rewrite his ending,
by all indications today, the president wants to keep fighting all the way to the Supreme Court.
He continues to jack up election conspiracies and hype the media who will help him.
All right, going forward, Susan, how do you expect Trump to actually use those platforms when he's out of office?
Well, firstly, important to note, he's not going away. He will leave the White House in January or before and go to Mar-a-Lago, but from there he will continue to use this conservative media to help keep his really incomparable political brand alive. During his presidency, the demand for conservative right-wing media has only increased, so he will pick and choose among them depending on what he's trying to sell, whether that is as a Republican kingmaker or as a potential candidate going into the 2024 election, which he has been hinting about in the last few weeks. As for Fox, once Biden gets in the White House, they will resume a very familiar footing as kind of the official or unofficial, really, opposition. So with like-minded conservative media, they will be keeping a very close eye on this government, and that has worked very handily for them in the past. But don't expect Donald Trump to fade away, of course. He will not remain on the outside in the media platforms at all.
All right, senior correspondent Susan Ormiston in Washington. Thanks, Susan.